everyone, and welcome back to the Joy-Filled Universe podcast. I am your host, Lisa Ryan, and I am so ready to talk about something today that actually feels ridiculously exciting. And okay, I'm going to say all of my episodes feel ridiculously exciting to me, but today most especially. And I think that's because I have very recently asked some of my friends, if you could manifest something quickly into your reality, what would it be? And I got lots of different kinds of answers, but one of the most common answer was manifesting money. Oh, yes, show me the money and make it rain in here. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. And I know that there are lots of law of attraction books and master classes that all focus on money. And I have personally read lots of books such as Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, Get Rich Lucky, B asterisk I B asterisk TCH by Denise Duffield Thomas, Rich as F asterisk CK by Amanda Francis, and lastly, the most recent one that I have read was Countdown to Riches by the amazing Rhonda Byrne, because it only released like at the end of last year. I think it was in November. Anyway, I love all of these books, and what I love most about them is that they might focus on money and making money, but the manifesting techniques that they provide actually can be applied to anything that you want to manifest into your reality. However, for today's podcast, I am taking some of the inspiration from the books that I've mentioned, and I'm going to focus on messaging my personal top 10 manifesting practices that I have successfully applied when it comes to bringing money into my life. And I want to underscore the fact that all 10 of the exercises that we discussed today have and do work for me. They have worked for people that I've shared them with, and with focus, belief, consistency, and positive intent, I believe that they will work for you too. So let's get started with number 1. And really quick, numbers 2 through 10 are in random order, but number 1 is number 1 for a reason, because it has everything to do with being aware of and removing our limiting beliefs about money. And what I mean by that is, from when we were young or through life experiences, we may have picked up on some limiting beliefs that can sound something like money doesn't grow on trees, more money, more problems, wanting lots of money is selfish, only the rich get richer, I can't afford that, money is the root of all evil, and I'm really bad with money. Okay, so none of those feel good to me. Please just allow me here for a second to just clap all of that out of the universe for me and for you, because all of the above are limiting beliefs. And as I was saying some of these, I am betting that a few of them resonated for you, or at least reminded you of others that you might be aware of. So if that's the case, clap it out of your vortex and be grateful for the awareness and knowing that these limiting beliefs exist, and then pick a better feeling thought and let the limiting ones go. Because by removing the blocks from our mindset, we are given the opportunity to reprogram our thoughts to those of abundance and wealth. Now, I have shared in the past that back in 2004, I restarted my life with a couple $1,000s in my pocket, a very large student loan for my graduate degree, and a car that was certainly on like its last leg, or I should say its last wheel. Anyway, it was always in need of repair. But it looked great, and that felt really good for me. So anyway, because of my financial situation, I often limited myself with spending. For example, I would limit the amount of groceries that I would buy so that I could pitch in for the office party at the end of the month. I rode the train and the bus a lot because it saved me toll and gas money. And I was forever telling myself that I could not afford things and that I had to save and pay off my student loan before I could do anything fun like travel or most especially buy a new car. Okay, so up until though, one day, before I was ever consciously aware of my incredible power to manifest, I finally woke up and figured rather than always thinking about what I couldn't afford, I started thinking about what I could afford, like the rent for a safe and really lovely apartment in a super nice area, the actual fare for my train and bus tickets, which was reimbursed by the company that I worked for at the time. The nice clothes on my back and the shoes on my feet, actually having the funds that I could pay off my graduate degree, delicious food on my table, and then more in the cupboards for other nights, gas in my car, and the ability to buy gifts for friends and family to celebrate their birthdays and holidays, because that is really something that brings me joy. And so the list goes on and on from here. And what I noticed was the more I chose to be in alignment with what brings me joy, along with feeling grateful for what I could afford, the more money started to show up in really great ways for me. But I had to first have the awareness that my initial limiting beliefs were largely coming from a place of lack and scarcity. And I consciously changed that narrative. And with lots of consistency, feeling, and belief over time, I rewired my thought patterns and my reality shifted significantly. So think about that. What are your limiting beliefs around money, and how can you reframe them to help remove some of your existing money blocks that you might have? Honestly, it can be something as simple as changing your perspective, focusing on what you do have versus what you don't have, and also changing how you feel about money. Like, practice saying things such as, I am open to receiving wealth from unexpected sources. I am wealthy. Money flows to me effortlessly and easily. My income has unlimited potential. I am grateful for the money I have right now. I make smart financial decisions with confidence, and I am a money magnet. Say those kinds of affirmations out loud to yourself and as often as you can, and genuinely feel the joy in knowing that what you ask for, you will receive. It truly makes a difference, and the universe is always responding in kind. Okay, so I just spent quite a bit of time on number one because it really is important and it's foundational for all of the rest. So now we're going to move right along and we're going to go to number two. And that has everything to do with adjusting your energetic set point, right? So the best way I can explain an energetic set point is just like a thermostat in our home. If we set the heat to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, the system turns on whenever the temperature drops below this point. And then it rises back up to 72 and then it will shut off again. Our money set point works the same way. If our energetic set point is, say, $50,000 a year, we may unconsciously turn down opportunities, overspend, sabotage promotions, or any other kind of thing that diverts us from drawing in more than $50,000. And we do this because that is what feels normal to us. And it is also one of the reasons why I believe that people say the rich get richer. Because when I hear somebody say that, I think to myself, well, of course they do, because their mindset is wired to continuously adjust their energetic set point, which means they keep raising the bar or the thermostat temperature to new levels. And best of all, they believe in their new threshold. With little to no doubt in their minds, they know that they will have success. And guess what? Money doesn't just have to come to us from one place. There is so much that we can do these days to make money, separate and apart from our 9-to-5 jobs. Take a look at people who start their side hustles just to make money, right? Like crafting and selling things on sites like Etsy, or dog walking, tutoring, setting up LinkedIn profiles, creating websites, doing various types of artwork, photography, even doing people's taxes. I knew a lady who was so good at doing taxes that she eventually left her day job and did taxes for people all year long. And she did mine too for a little while until I moved to a totally different state. And I'm not mad about that, but I did and still do miss her. I'm just going to put that out there. Anyway, there are so many things that we can do with our talents and skills. So don't limit yourself. With the tools that are available to us today, we have endless possibilities. The internet alone has removed barriers, and we can reach millions without needing to spend massive capital. And many of today's successful entrepreneurs like Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they all seem to have a very common message, which is the biggest barrier to wealth today isn't opportunity, it's belief. So let's take some time to figure out our energetic set point. And if we haven't already, let's raise it. And remember, the how we meet the new bar is up to the universe to decide. We just need to embrace the universal nudges and fully believe in our intention and keep it fresh in our minds too. In fact, one of the things that I do is I make a screensaver on my phone, and every time I pick up my phone, I see it and I get so excited. And then I thank the universe for the abundance. And if you choose to do this, watch how incredible things will turn out. All right, next is number 3, which is let's treat ourselves with lots of self-love and respect. It is so important to take care of ourselves and take pride in how we show up everywhere we go. One thing that I say to people that I mentor is, we are always auditioning for something. So everywhere we decide to go, keep that in mind. By investing in ourselves, taking time to actually care about how we are representing ourselves matters, because it displays a level of self-respect and self-love and self-confidence. We are also modeling too, keep in mind, for our younger people who look up to us, and that matters too. Plus, I don't know about you, but I love looking good because I feel good, and that energy is definitely displayed with the extra bounce in my step as I navigate through my day. So how can we show ourselves some self-love? Well, one way, which I learned from Denise Duffield Thomas, was to afford ourselves an incremental upgrade. And what I mean by that is, let's treat ourselves to something special that we deserve. And it doesn't have to be like a giant expensive gift. It can be something like upgrading the dishes in our home, buying new linens for our beds, getting new decorative pillows for our sofa and giving it like a little lush kind of feeling new vibe. We can get some really nice window finishes for our windows, or maybe just a nice piece of jewelry. Oh my gosh, I even just love going out and buy myself some brand new underwear, and I toss out the old ones and it just feels good to me. I just feel richer. So simple things like that allow us to feel like we are giving ourselves something extra because we can. This is a very easy act of self-love, and it raises us to a vibe of feeling into our next level of wealth, and it is so worth it. Okay, moving right along to number 4, and this one is do what feels in alignment with you. My podcast here, it doesn't make any money because most pods actually don't. But I didn't start my podcast to make money. I started it to raise the vibe in our world, to share what I know about manifesting and coaching, to provide tools and tricks to help us to live our best lives, and to create a community, a joy-filled universe that creates a collective of humans who are on this forever self-development life adventure together. And I know for a fact that this is in alignment for me because it brings me joy every time I get to create and record an episode. And I also know that my podcast will continue to grow, and my dreams of having a book club, hosting masterclasses, having sponsors, and even creating and selling some merchandise, it all just makes me feel so excited. All of this will unfold for me. I just know it will in my heart, and that brings me sheer joy. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually have some chill bumps running up and down my arms right now, and it is such a vibe. I'm so grateful. So ask yourselves, what is it that feels in alignment for you? What is something you can do on a routine basis that brings you happiness and feels exciting and makes a difference in your life in all the best ways? And when you know what this is, do that. Do it for you. Don't do it to please anyone else but you. This level of contentment and alignment will absolutely attract abundance into your world. It has to, because when you are thriving, the universe brings more of what allows you to thrive in all the most abundant ways. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, number 5 is write yourself a check from the universe. I got this idea from Rhonda Byrne, and I actually think it was from her book called The Magic, which I didn't mention earlier. Anyway, I think I also might have mentioned this in a much earlier episode. However, I adore this exercise, and I have had it work for me on a number of occasions. I truly have, and it is very simple. It goes like this. Grab yourself a template of a bank check, and I think you can find them online. If you don't have one of your own, you could scratch out yours or whatever you do, but find yourself a template of a bank check and write the check out to you and place a date on it in the future, and then put in a dollar amount and then sign it from the universe and post it in an area where you will see it often. And when you do see it, pause for a moment and feel that genuine gratitude for this incredible gift. The feeling state alone becomes magnetic, and our dollar amount guides our intention. I love this one. It's easy, it's creative, it's fun, and it works. So please give it a go. Okay, next is number 6, which is subliminals. Oh my gosh, I listened to the one that came from Rhonda Byrne's book, the Countdown to Riches, and it was like a bonus in there, and I found it on an application too that I put on my phone. Now, unlike the traditional subliminals that are kind of masked by spa music, you can actually hear the words on this one, which I love because you know that it's legit. And if you don't have something like this, you can create your own. You can record a series of affirmations and then just loop them. There are also just loads of them that can be found online, and I am hoping to have some of my own one day soon that I can offer at any point in time to all of you. Okay, so once you get your subliminal, make it a point to listen routinely. I choose to listen to mine when I'm getting ready for work in the morning or while I'm even driving into work. By doing this consistently, I'm here to tell you whether it's wealth, health, self-confidence, success, happiness, or any other feeling state that you're going for, this stuff is a great tool and it's effortless. It's awesome for rewiring our subconscious mind. I am here to tell you that it does make a difference. I have lived it and I love them. So please give a subliminal a go. It can be the kind that's underneath music where you just hear lovely spa music, or it can actually just be the words. I actually have been siding towards the one that are just the words. It really makes me feel good. I can listen to them and I sometimes repeat them to myself and feel into all of them. It's a vibe. So give it a go. Okay, moving right along is number 7. This is also something that I'm doing from the Rhonda Byrne application that I got from her book. However, all you really need is a notepad and something to write with, because this exercise is all about tracking the money that flows into our days. I believe this is really impressive. It truly is amazing how much money flows to us when we actually track it, whether it's our paycheck, our side hustle, the money we saved with an unexpected sale at a store, the money we saved when a friend wanted to treat us out to lunch just because, the tax refund that came back unexpectedly, the product rebate maybe that showed up in the mail, a bonus, a free shipping opportunity on a purchased item, or finding just some unexpected money on the ground while you're out walking around. I mean, you get the flick, right? None of this is something that we should take for granted, because all of it is money coming to us. So just try to keep track for a few days. Heck, just do it for one day. Because before the Rhonda Byrne app that I was using, I did this on the Notes application on my phone, and it never ceases to amaze me. And it is definitely an abundant frequency. It really gets you thinking about how grateful you are for all the money that actually really does flow into our everyday lives. So give that one a go too. They're all so much fun. Okay, so let's move on. Number 8. This one is about sharing the wealth. Listen, every act of generosity is a declaration that we live in abundance, and the universe takes us at our word. It's when we don't share, or we keep the money for ourselves because we're afraid that we will lose what we have, that works against us. That is 100% scarcity mindset. And again, the universe takes us at our word. Now, I definitely qualify myself as a giver in this world. I love to give. It brings me joy. And I have always said that the more I make in life, the more I will give. And I believe wholeheartedly that this has served me. So when I can, I give to charities that are aligned with my heart. I will go out of my way to treat a friend out to dinner or buy them supplies, especially if they are in a bad place financially. I have even bought food for complete strangers because they needed it. In fact, I believe I am one of those people who radiates, ask me, I'll help you. Because one time I was at the grocery store and this place has an amazing salad bar and hot bar. Well, this lovely woman came up to me and asked if I would buy her something to eat. And without missing a beat, I said, sure, get whatever you want. And she did. And she was not greedy. She got one of the little smaller boxes, and she carefully filled up with little helpings of lots of things. I was also very sure to stay far away from her, so she felt zero pressure and felt freedom to get what would make her tummy feel full. She finished before me. I'm just going to say that. And I said to her, hey, don't you want to go get yourself a cookie for dessert? And she happily picked up a cookie that they make fresh there every day at their on-site bakery. They're delicious. And I also then encouraged her. I'm like, go ahead and get yourself something to drink. And so she did. And then together we waited in the self-checkout line and we chatted with each other like we were just long lost friends. I paid for her meal. And as she packed up her bag, she thanked me. I hugged her and then we parted ways. That moment brought me so much joy, and I was filled with gratitude that I could afford to buy this wonderful human a meal. So sharing and helping others who are less fortunate is a total high vibrational frequency. And I even take it one step further, and I think even bigger. I imagine paying for things like the animal rescue that I support. Sometimes they send out like a request to their supporters to help reach their goal because they need like $20,000 or $40,000 more to get there. And I imagine writing them a check in full, and I allow myself to feel the joy along with visualizing the image of handing them the check and seeing the gratitude in their eyes as I help them to meet their charitable goal. And I do this because right now I don't have $50,000 that I can just give away, but I will. And I am feeling that abundance now, knowing that my order is placed with the universe and the universe is responding. Remember, your wish is my command. So for this exercise, think about areas where we can give to those who are less fortunate, whether it's to the charity or even a random act of kindness that doesn't cost anything but our time. And then go for it and share your abundance. And also activate the imagination. You can take time to just imagine giving generous gifts. The feelings that you feel are the same, and your body doesn't know the difference between reality and what's imaginary. And the universe will respond with the abundance right back to you, because generosity is not a leak in our abundant cup. It is the act that keeps it overflowing. Okay, 2 more here. Let's see. Number 9 is don't apologize for your abundance. We are never bragging when we are receiving blessings and sharing that excitement. Again, refer to step number 1. One of our limiting beliefs can be not wanting to share our good fortune, but it's perfectly acceptable to do this with people who are happy for us, of course. No energy vampires allowed to suck the wind out of our sails. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, none of them are allowed here. Not welcome. So take some time to celebrate abundance and celebrate good fortune. Our friends and family, including our fur babies, will be happy for us. So celebrate when you earn unexpected funds. Celebrate when you are blessed with the money that was on your vision board or the check from the universe. This gratitude signals to the universe, bring me more, please, because it absolutely will. So let's give ourselves permission to celebrate our successes and abundance and allow the gratitude to flow. Okay, we did it. We are now at number 10. And this one is saying yes, having courage and taking action, even if we don't feel ready. If you are anything like me, sometimes we can get so caught up in perfection that we never ever start. My goodness, I am 1 episode away from 1 year of podcasting. Yes, today is episode number 51. And I have gone back to listen to like my first couple of episodes and I think, oh my gosh, that was kind of rough. Or at least I feel like they were. However, I am so thankful that I just got started versus waiting and practicing and critiquing myself. I just took the leap, even though I wasn't fully ready. And when I listen back, I can hear and feel my growth, both in how I show up and also how much my podcast continues to grow. And soon I will be going to get a bunch of fun photos taken, which I am going to use to populate my website and my Instagram. And I will finally change out the podcast artwork with a photo of me as the host. And this all brings me joy because it is expanding me and it raises my vibe, which makes me feel magnetic for everything that I desire. And I am here for it. And I know that you'll feel the same. So give it a try. Okay. And just as number 1 was essential, I have to offer a bonus number 11 because it's kind of like the icing on the cake, and it entails the technique of genuinely feeling the joy that all of these practices, when applied, bring to us. We have to allow our emotions to course through our bodies and be felt to our core, all while knowing that what we have asked for will be received. As Abraham Hicks would say, we will receive it because it's the law of attraction, the law of vibration. We are all energetic beings, and like energy attracts like energy. And since I'm throwing out quotes here, Bob Proctor would say, see yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. And Napoleon Hill, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I honestly believe that the turbocharge for our thoughts is the emotion and gratitude that we put behind it. So, oh, wow. 1 through 10. What do you think? Are you ready to give some of these practices a shot and just zhuzh up the financial flow of abundance in your life? Whether it's becoming aware of letting go of limiting beliefs that we have around money, adjusting our energetic set point, giving ourselves some self-care and self-love and respect, and showing up as our best selves, doing what feels in alignment with our hearts and souls, writing ourselves a check from the universe, listening to subliminal affirmations, tracking the flow of money that comes into us daily, sharing our abundance with others, giving ourselves permission to celebrate our successes, and saying yes to taking bold steps to getting started with something that brings us joy. All or some, if applied with little to no resistance and lots of belief in knowing that the universe is always listening and responding, we cannot lose. All of these practices have worked for me, and I know that they are going to work for you too. So please keep me posted. I cannot wait to hear about your success. And that is going to be a wrap for this week. And I hope that you found today's episode to be helpful and fun. And if you did, please do me a solid and rate, follow, share it with a friend. All of this helps me out, and I'm always so grateful and I appreciate you. So thank you very much. And on that note, I am your host, Lisa Ryan. This is the Joy-Filled Universe podcast, where we explore all the tools and tricks that are going to make your universe even more joyful than it already is. And I will see you next week. Bye.